Talking about relevance, I'm sure you must have noticed that in India we have this inclination towards having multiple cuisines in one restaurant. We have elaborate menus, those thick menus in really good restaurants. So you have Indian food menu, then you have, on the third page, it's Italian. So if my friend wants to eat pizza and I want to have dal makhani and the other friend wants to have sushi, we can all sit in the same restaurant, same table, and have all of these things together and of really good quality.
Yeah.
However, in England or in Australia or in Spain, for example, you don't see this.
No, multi-cuisine is not the thing which has happened here yet. Let me add that, yet. We never know. Influence of Indians might bring that too. So it's only India. India is quite unique that way, because I think, I remember growing up, there were only two types of cuisines available out there in the market. It was either Indian, or if you wanted to be slightly different Indian, that would be South Indian. And the other cuisine which you would go to was Chinese. There was no other thing.
Indian Chinese.
Yeah, of course, Indian Chinese. Indian Chinese. And of late, you name a cuisine, it's in India. You want a Vietnamese, you'll get that. You want food from Thai, of course, Thai food has been there for quite some time. Italian food in different flavors have come in. Continental food, Spanish food, tapas food. It's loads of them have come across in India now, and it's good to see that Indians are dwelling into it. But Indians always want their own food as well. So I think after having pizza, they'll say, ek katora black dal ka mil jaye to maza aa jayega. So I think that attitude is always there. Nothing wrong in that, in my opinion, but that's how it is. So talking about multi-cuisine, I think UK is quite behind it. Maybe the people are not ready. They have these special nights. Are we going for Indian or are we going for Chinese? They always talk about these things, and they go to that specific restaurant. So there's a restaurant that opened about 7-8 years ago, a very posh Chinese restaurant. I'm not being able to get the name. It's not very far from us on Berkeley Street. Cafe something, but it's pure Chinese. They invited me for the opening, and one dish caught my eye, and I just smiled. I couldn't believe it was there.
Manchurian?
No.
I want to guess. Can you give me a hint?
Indians love it. It's a Chinese dish that Indians love it. You were close. You said Manchurian, but what's the other one? It's vegetarian.
Is it a starter or?
It could be a starter, but it could be a main course too.
Honey chili potatoes?
You're near. It was chili paneer.
Oh,
really? It was in a proper Chinese restaurant. They were doing chili paneer.
I was having, once I invited some, we were all together, a few of my Chinese friends were also there, and I think one of our friends cooked Indian Chinese food, and my friend said to the Chinese people, I've cooked Chinese food today. Let's have Manchurian. So then they asked, how is it? So the Chinese people said, yeah, it's really tasty, but this is not Chinese. It's nice, but what is Manchurian?
Somebody told me this story that after India-China war, there was a peace talks happening in both India and China, and there was a big Chinese delegation came to India. So Indian, out of courtesy, they said, let's treat you to your food today. We have a beautiful restaurant in our hotel, Taj Hotel. So they took them to August House of Moon in, I think, Taj Mansingh, if I'm not wrong. So this Chinese delegation ate the food, very nice, everything good. So finally, somebody asked that, how was the food? He said it was a great food, but it wasn't Chinese. So it was, and it's a true story. It's a true story. And I think they said, we'll bring a Chinese cook with us next time. So something of that sort. And everybody laughed because obviously that food has been created for Indians. But that takes me back to Oberoi's Aavriti. This is where Mr. Oberoi was very different. He had a Chinese restaurant, and just not Chinese restaurant. He always said, I want Shanghainese Chinese. and he would always bring chefs from Shanghai. So Taipan, which was now it belongs to I don't know what it's called. It's called Busan now, if I'm not wrong. And Andrew Wong looks after it. And Andrew Wong is a fellow chef from London who consults Oberoi hotels in India. But going back to Taipan, there was always two chefs from Shanghai, and there were minions like me working under them. But food was incredible, always Chinese. And Mr. Oberoi was great artisan man who knew the taste. If he was putting a restaurant there, he would definitely have that original person cooking that food. Otherwise, he wouldn't have it. Simple.
But do you think in India people have palate for authentic dishes?
I think it's and this is where it comes to pushing the boat out and screeching people in. If we don't try, we'll never know. So India is such a big, massive country with such a big population. I'm sure there are people who love the real artisan food, people who admire the craft of cooking. If everybody goes in a mob and say, "Humko yahi pasand hai," then and market starts catering for it, then we are not honing the art of cuisine, in my opinion. And I think as a country, we will get there. We have started getting there, in my opinion. When I left India, as I said, there were only few cuisines available. By that time, Thai food had come to India by the time I left India. But now I go back, my heart swells with pride and love that because you can get Lebanese, you can get any food, to be honest, any cuisine you want in the world, it's available in India now. Albeit a little bit Indian-esque form, but I think we will work our palates. As we travel more, as Indians are traveling a lot more, ever before. We never traveled before, I remember all my childhood holidays, it was always Nani ka ghar. Mujhe Nani ka ghar hi pata tha. I didn't know anything else. But now people are going to Malaysia, people are going to Hong Kong, people are going to
spiritual tourism. या मंदिर चलते हैं मंदिर घूमते हैं
मंदिर का food पता था. That is so true.
Which is also very elaborate, actually. The mandir prasadam.
Oh, mandir food is
everywhere.
amazing. And if you go from place to place, and I was in Kerala in February, and I visited 5-6 different temples. And the only reason I was visiting different temples because I wanted to eat that temple food. And it's within Kochi, I'm telling you, every food had its own charm, its own finish, and was different to each other. It was just mind-boggling, to be honest. At some point when time permits, I would love to go from one temple to the other just to try the kind of food they offer. And South India is beautiful.
Actually, interestingly, there is a restaurant, I don't remember the name right now. I think it must be in Haridwar or Rishikesh. They do temple food. So they serve you temple food from all over India, like a thali. I haven't tried it.
Wow.
But I thought I really want
That's
to try
a concept.
it. It would be so
It's
nice.
a great concept.
And it's a cool concept, yeah.
So I've had the best khichdi in my life in a place called Lal Baba Ka Ashram. And this is a place it's a derelict farm kind of thing. I was a little boy. I was in scouts in my school, and we were taken to do the trekking to Gangotri, from Gangotri to Gomukhi. So it's a 14-kilometer trek, and about 8 kilometers later you reach an ashram, that's where this holy saint used to live. I don't think he's there anymore. And he had a very rustic ashram there, and that was the only place for miles and miles you could stay overnight. And he had this big cauldron of khichdi being cooked in that. And apparently the fire is always on. The rice and dal is added, the spices are added, ghee is added, and it keeps cooking all day. And as and when the big group of yatris come in, they just serve the food out of that only. And it was, those tastes are still on my palate, still in my mind, and I want to curate that again and again. I try it, I fail every time. But because there was something magic happening there in terms of the air and the atmosphere and the water. And I think it's hard to replicate it, but I think those are biggest memories of food in my mind. Simplest, but the biggest.
Actually, you may be right because, in a book, I can't remember in which book I read this. So the author talks about how his aunt used to keep talking about this specific restaurant in one of the cities. So this restaurant and this specific pie that she would go on and on and on about. So when he grows up, he ends up going to that restaurant and he tries that pie and he finds it to be very, very mediocre, just like a normal pie.
Yeah.
But then what he realizes is, it's the memory, it's that moment, it's your association,
Absolutely.
with that food, that time. So, food, it's all about so many more things, just not just about filling your stomach.
Absolutely.
But,
Absolutely. So at Kanishka, this is what we take pride in. When people come to us, and a lot of people come to us to celebrate their special day with us. And genuinely, me and my staff are grateful to them. And if I'm not there, then my head chef and my sous chef will come out to thank them personally, because it's their big day. They could choose to be anywhere in the world, but they chose to be with us. And that's a very special thing, very emotional thing. So we always take a picture of theirs with us and give it in a beautiful folder and give it to them as a gift, which they take with them, and they'll remember us forever. And hopefully they will return many more times on their special days to be with us. And that's how we have extended our family and friends, to be honest. And I think just recognizing that they are here, it's the biggest thing. So recently I met a couple who were celebrating their 65th wedding anniversary. And it was such a emotional and pretty thing. And they made me sit between them, so I cuddled them and took a picture with them. So it's really beautiful, really beautiful. Love it. I think memories are the one which makes the food special, not other way around.
well, you're right, actually.
So
University students, they often talk about our canteen used to have the best food.
It's the company they
Our
have.
accommodation used to have the best, charts. But it's the memories, actually.
It's the memories, it's the moment that makes everything special around you, everything magical around you. So that's what we want to excel in. And it takes me back to my old man again, Mr. Oberoi, who used to say, it's the ambience, son. It's not just food or drink or the music. It's the ambience which makes the memories.
So, Chef, do you think a restaurant's design and architectural design and interior plays an important role in how the business accelerates?
I think design and architecture definitely adds to your experience. As you open the door of a restaurant and you get in, your heart tells you you love it, your mind tells you you belong to this place, then everything seems right. And that's very important. So wherever you go, if you don't like the place, that entire experience is not going to be enjoyable. No matter how good the service is, how good the food is, something just keeps niggling in your mind that you don't like something about it, and you walk away giving 70% marks rather than 100% marks. So in my opinion, everything has to be in sync. The design, the food, the service, the music. There are so many moving parts to the restaurant experience. They all have to come together to make a meal a memorable meal.
I also think that restaurant spaces in India have evolved so much over the years. For example, people pay so much attention to design nowadays. There are design studios who specialize in restaurant designs. Your restaurant, for example, Saga in Gurgaon, which was the second tallest bar in Asia, designed by the architects and designers at Headlight Design Studio, did such an incredible job. Do you think the design of Indian restaurants are now at par with the global standards?
Saga was quite a unique restaurant, no doubt about it. The beautiful bar, the food was amazing. Even the outside space, I think the decor was breathtaking, to be honest. It was beautifully done. Very well curated restaurant. And I think Indians have been very passionate about whenever they stepped out of their home and they were outside, they're superly critical about how the whole experience was, and design was a big part of it, because it used to be only 5-star hotels, if you remember, who had good restaurants. We didn't have enough standalone restaurants. Standalone restaurants used to be more like dhaba style. But in last 20 years, there has been a wave of fantastic, beautiful designed, curated restaurants, one after the other. There has been an explosion, in my opinion. And I think it keeps getting better and better. And we want the experience side of it now. It's just not food or drink we are going out for. We want the entire experience.